Stamps-N-Lingers, and it is a dark and stormy night here in Georgia on at 7 o'clock. So we are going to try to roll through this a little bit. I don't want to lose y'all. Hopefully I won't. But just so you know, if I go blank, it's because lightning struck or wind knocked down a power line somewhere. Hey, Julie, appreciate you coming. All right, so this is my card for tonight. This is what I gave you the sneak peek of this morning. It is a fun fold card, and it's a cool one. I saw how to make this, the basic fold structure, on Patty Bennett's blog. Hello, Robin. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, Angie and Linda and Melissa and Faith. Appreciate you guys coming. I know, Linda, that is part of the problem, is it is really, really hard to decide what. But the paper really drew me. And these Night Divine dies, I just think they are so cool. And I have used them. And this is a good fold. It's called a 2468 fun fold. And I was able to use quite a bit of the dies in Night Divine, plus a couple of sentiments, and I combined it with it's a sister bundle. So if you buy the suite, you'll get the Night Divine bundle and the Stars at Night bundle, along with the Oh Night Divine DSP and a few other little goodies. So that's kind of fun. Yes, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous set, and we are going to play with it. So let's go ahead and get started. I can tell you, this is a very, very easy fold. Okay, the hardest piece of it is kind of figuring out how you want everything to align, especially when you're doing kind of a scene like I did with the Night Divine. The Night Divine set is really cool. The dies are wonderful, and between that one and the stars, there's a lot of die cutting, but it's not very difficult. Okay, so let me show you what this does. On the front, I have a deckled circle sentiment, and then this opens up so you have a center panel. And you can see we have kind of a Bethlehem scene. Hi, Laura. Hi, Susan. Appreciate you guys coming. And then it opens up to our back. And I'm going to show you how to make this three-color little scene right here. So let's go ahead and get started before the gods of the internet stop smiling at us. Okay? I've done a lot of pre-cutting, so that's a good thing. But we're going to start with the piece of the Oh Night Divine DSP. It's 5 1/4 by 12. Now, it's kind of confusing. It's a 2468 card. So we're going to score it at 2, 4, say it with me, 6, and 8. And that is the extent of the folds. The next thing that I want you to be very, very careful of is when you're doing a fun fold, it behooves you to take time to make your folds as precise as you can, okay? So that is what I tried to do. So I'm going to start at the larger end, and we're just going to do basically accordion folds, okay? Like so. Just really every other one goes the other direction. I hope. I've made it exactly once, so I hope. All right, and give it kind of a good burnish. Now, in order to make the two separate little flaps, okay, all we're really going to do is we're going to adhere these two panels together and these two panels together. And I'm going to use liquid glue. And you can see I didn't get a very good fold. All right, I'm gonna lose you guys. I can already feel it coming. I feel it. I feel it in my heart. So I apologize for that. Let me go ahead and just fix this up. I want it to be as close to right as I can get. Oh yes, can you hear it shaking the house? Yeah, I can too. I can too. All right, and we're just going to fix it. I just was trying to make that so that wasn't sticking out. You see what I'm saying? There you go. That's more better. Now we'll get my, yes ma'am, that is in fact thunder. And yes, it is storming here. We've had a couple of rounds go through. This is, I hope, the last round, but I make no promises about that. So, okay, now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to a crumb cake mat. That's still not as good as I'd like, but I'm going to accept it here in about 2 seconds. Y'all, I have a little bit of exciting news about our fundraiser. We've already gone over $1,000. So that is amazing. Between direct donations and what I'm putting in from the sales, we are at $1,006. So that's awesome. We have a whole nother day. I hope everybody will continue to be generous and if not, purchase through my store so that I give a percentage, make a direct donation of $50, and I will continue to put people's names in. We're going to have 2 Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines to give away. All right? Okay, so let me go ahead and use a little bit of liquid glue. Yeah, I made sure I knew where everything was except apparently the liquid glue. There we go. Yay, Julie, thank you so much. All right, I'm going to use liquid glue here, and I am just adhering it to a crumb cake mat. Obviously, I don't know. Did I say that this would all be on my blog tomorrow? Or do you just assume that at this point in our relationship together? All right, that is still bugging me right there. So I'm just going to fix it. Remember, guys, what do I say? It's paper. Try to make it do what you want it to do. Okay? There we go. Didn't like it really showing there so much. Okay? Okay. Alrighty. Now, let's go ahead and make our center panels. We'll do our front sentiment last. Now, I've just got some pieces of the Oh Holy Night DSP, and I used this Bethlehem scene for the center because I thought that the camel and the donkey and the cow would probably be out a little ways, out of the town. And this is kind of a close-up of the town. How about that? This is where the Holy Family is going to be. All right. I do love this paper. It is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Some of the prettiest paper I think I've ever seen. Okay, we got a lot of die cuts here. The ones I'm going to start with are my camel. Look how cute this guy is. I mean, really. Let's get his little bridle out. Get those little pieces out so his reins show better. There's a Campbell and a sleeping donkey. He's tired. He's had a long day. And the little calf is sleeping as well. So I'm just going to adhere them with some liquid glue right to the panel. Just a little bit. And I'm not really doing his legs. His legs will stay where they need to be. All right, so let's put him right here. And then we're going to put the donkey and the cow, like so. All right, so let's go ahead and put our cow on first. Yay, Karen, I'm so glad you got a catalog. You've been busy though, so I definitely understand that you haven't had a chance to look at it. All right, and so this is all we're really doing on the center panel. When we get towards the end of the card, I'll put a star up, but I want it already adhered inside the card before we do anything. Remember, this is our middle panel, and it's going to go roughly right there. But let's not do that quite yet. Okay. Now we're going to do a sentiment or two. We'll do a couple of sentiments. Oh, you know what? Well, I'm hanging it out, people. Hold your breath. Hold your breath. I think that's a lamb, not a cow. Possibly. I think the jury is out, but it could be a lamb. I suppose makes more sense that it would have been a lamb than a cow, now that I think about that. Okay, so here I am. I'm really hanging it out because I should have done the sentiment on here. Yes, you're right. It's a lamb. My bad. I'll try to remember to not write calf on the blog tomorrow. All right, I'm really hanging it out, and this is frightening to me. All right, we're going to stamp Glory to God in the Highest, and that is from the Night Divine set. And I've just rubbed it with my embossing buddy. So let's get our white embossing powder out. Linda, if you'll send me an email with your address, I will send you a catalog. No problem. All right, here we go. We're going to stamp this in Versamark. And we're going to go right about there. Y'all hold your breath because I should, don't do like I did, okay? Don't adhere this to the mat until you have stamped and embossed your sentiment, okay? But I think I'm gonna get lucky on this one. Yeah, I think I am. I think I am. Yep, okay, I'm gonna set that aside. And while I have everything out, let's go ahead and stamp and emboss our front sentiment, which is, Oh Holy Night. And that is also from the Night Divine set. Alrighty. Let's get him stamped up here in Versamark. And this is like the 6th or 7th from the smallest of the deckled circles. Just get it, you guys. I mean, just seriously, just get it. Okay. And we're going to stamp it right about there. And close up our Versamark pad. I know I didn't, and it was risky, but I'm trying to be a little more fast tonight because I really would like to get all the way through this. And it didn't make a very good, I wiggled it. So let me see if I can fix it and not have to go to the back side. Now this is one of those high-end brushes, you know, from Publix. And I'm just kind of trying to get that little bit of extra right there off. There we go. I think that's going to work. Let's see what it does. I am going to close this up though before I get out my blow tool. All right, let's see what we got here. It's going to get a little loud, sorry. When you're embossing, you just want to hold a couple inches from your panel and just kind of hold it still, and you will see the magic start to happen. If I move the tool out of your way, it'll be important to move the tool out of your way. There you go. You can see it getting shiny. That means the powder is melting, and that's a good sign that everything is embossing. There we go. Alrighty. Hey, Carol, appreciate you coming. All right, and I think that's good enough. I've got a little extra, but let's pretend it looks like stars. Let's do that. And then we're going to do the same on the other panel. And I'm really staying back because I really didn't want to, well, do what I did. Trying to keep it from warping. Holding it still, letting that, there it goes. You see it starting to get shiny? Ooh, this is my favorite thing. So pretty when it gets shiny. There we go. Okay. And, hey Mare, appreciate you joining. I'm going to hold it for a second while it cools because I'm trying to get the cardstock to go back down. Again, let me say it for a third time because I feel like I messed up here and you're looking at what I did, and I want you to do this before you adhere it to your mat. Okay? That's what I want you to do. Also remember that when this embossing powder is hot, it will smear. So, you know, you don't want to let it smear if you can help it. So don't mess with it. Okay. There we go. Now, while that is cooling, I am going to make our 3-layer Holy Family. Okay, so what I did is I cut, it's this die, and you get all of these pieces when you cut it, okay? And what I'm gonna do, I cut one in black, and let's push its little chads out. And I'm going to snip off the black. You can send through the contact me on my blog page, Linda. Or, hey, Rosie, can you type in my email address? That would be nice. Thank you. I'm just going to snip off the manger here. Okay, we don't need all that extra stuff. Now, also, I cut it again from a piece of the Berry Burst holographic trio. You know, that's the one that comes with the stargazing suite, right? And I am going to cut out Mary and Joseph and the manger. And I'm just going to kind of arbitrarily pick where I think her robe goes, right there. And the same on Joseph's side. Okay, I'll just snip that off. Okay, now, using a little bit of liquid glue, I'm going to adhere this to right over the top of that black die cut. Okay. And really all we're doing now, I'm leaving that manger because you need something to adhere the next layer to. Okay, so we're just lining it up so it's like it's not even any extra pieces. I just thought this kind of royal blue was sort of perfect. Okay, now from the piece of distressed gold, I'm going to cut just the manger. And look at that, I'm going to save that. I don't know what I'll do with it, but I may do something. So I'm going to save that and just cut the manger out like that. Little liquid glue, because I thought the manger ought to be gold. You know what I mean? That seemed to make sense to me. Made sense to me. All right, so there we have the nativity in black, berry burst, and gold, and that piece needs to come out. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere that to, first I'm going to adhere this to the back of the card. All right, and what I want to do is I'm going to layer this up so that these two are kind of offset from each other. And then my sentiment on the front, my sentiment on the front is going to go right about there. And what I want, it's just a personal preference. Okay, so if this doesn't bother you, then you don't need to worry about it so much. But I prefer to not be able to see the stuff that's on that panel. Okay, again, it's just me. It's totally just me. All right. So when I put my Holy Family on, I'm going to put it just about where I need it to be, but maybe a little pushed in. Okay. So that when my sentiment is on, you can't see all of that. You see how you can't see all of that? Okay, you can't see all of that. Alrighty, so first let's go ahead and adhere this on. And I'm just going to put some liquid glue here. Like that. Try to make it kind of straight. Kind of straight is kind of good. And then we can open that up. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this on. Like so. All right, this thunder seems to be receding, so perhaps we'll be good. Or not, as she says, as it thunders outside. All right, and then we're going to use liquid glue. Alrighty, and make him as straight as you can make. Do a quick fit check while that glue is still malleable. There we go. Okay. And then we can make sure we're all straight and give everything a good push. All right. And then I cut a little lamba. I thought we needed a white lamb. Seemed like the right thing to do. Oh, Karen, you know, I always forget about that, but yes, I will enter this in there. Yes, I will. We're going to put this white lamb right here. See, I knew this was a white lamb. Hello. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and adhere my sentiment to the front. Like that. And I'm just going to do that by putting a little bit of liquid glue right in there. Okay. Kind of make it as, you know, the sentiment should be straightish. And then we're going to make some stars. And that's all there is. Well, okay, there's a back. There's a back. But that's okay. You know, it's interesting, Deborah, because thunder never did bother him. And then we took him and boarded him at a kennel. And he came home scared of lightning and thunder. But he is getting back to his old self of not being afraid of things like that. All right, let's go ahead and put this on our basic black card base. And it's just a one piece. It's just a single panel. And, you know, you could, if you wanted, put this on an actual tint card base. But I decided to save one layer of cardstock. Okay. For the back, what I did, because I thought, you know, there's really not anywhere to write here, right? This is all prettiness, nowhere to really write. So what I did is I took a sentiment from the Stars at Night, and I stamped it in Night of Navy on a basic white panel. Yeah, he wasn't really scared when he was scared, but he was anxious. So he was panty and moving around, and it was just so different because when we first had him in all the first years of his life, it was like nothing was happening. It was like, oh, there's a thunderstorm? Yeah, nobody cares. Finn doesn't care. All right, I'm stamping Merry Christmas in Night of Navy ink right there. Yeah, I'm going to turn it over. If I get it a little straighter, I'm going to use that. Otherwise, I'll use the other side. All right. Yeah, good. That's good. That's gooder. That's more gooder. Yep, the owl will come out soon, Linda. The owl will come out soon. Now, I'm going to take Lemon Lolly, and I'm going to use, let's see, it's actually this stamp image right here in Stars at Night, and I'm going to stamp it in Lemon Lolly right next to, I'm going to use that big star right next to the sentiment, like that. It's kind of hard to see it, but you can. But while I have this out, why don't I go ahead and do an envelope, because that's what I'm going to put on the front of the envelope. See how efficient I am? The specter of losing power makes me very efficient. Oh, thank you, Karen. You are very sweet. Okay, we'll set that aside. Now, let's go ahead and assemble this, and then we'll make some stars and be done. This is just going on a crumb cake mat. I love the Night of Navy crumb cake gold combination. Crumb cake is such a great Christmas color anyway, and when you add Night of Navy to it, it's tough to beat that. Okay, so we're going to put this on the back. So this gives you a spot to write a little message. Write a little message. There we go. Okay, now that'll just sit and dry for a second. I'm going to go ahead and make a star or two. Let me show you what we did. I have used a combination of a gold foil sheet with its smooth finish and some distressed gold. Now, this die right here cuts out all 3 stars, and it actually works with the, hang on a second. It works with the Stars at Night 3D embossing folder. Okay, so this lines up just like that somewhere. There we go. You got to turn it inside out, right side up. So you can run this through with your cardstock and emboss and cut at the same time. Okay, so that's kind of fun. I didn't do that. Didn't need to do that. What I did is I cut this star from shiny silver or shiny gold, and then using this die and this die, I cut 2 pieces from, no, this die is 1 piece of distressed gold and then another piece of shiny. So I was alternating. Okay, you can do however, but by alternating, you give it a little bit of extra oomphy-doomph. Oomphy-doomph, that's a little term I just came up with right now. And let me just show you how many things I did, how many options I tried with this card. I made silver stars and some blueberry bushel stars. I made all sorts of stars before I decided gold was the way to go. So there you go. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Where in the world? I am going to adhere this with a little liquid glue, and I discovered that if I just keep the liquid glue right on the center line of that vertical, then that helps me. You know, when you get liquid glue on foil, it's very hard to get it off. Okay, so if you've only got it on the center line, it tends to make it so that if you have to wiggle the star, it stays behind the top star instead of getting out on your shiny foil. We'll do the same here. Just a little. You don't need a lot. That's the best. That's why it's so wonderful. Yeah, this is a one-off kind of card. You know, I mean, this is not the one you're going to make 77 of to send to everybody that has ever known your name. It just isn't. It's just too much cutting and stuff like that. But for somebody special, it's a really cool card. All right, now I have also got, I cut 3 white stars, and that is this die. So you have 2 of these that are kind of squat, and then you have 2 of these that are more like what you think of as, you know, the Bethlehem star, if you will. Okay, so I've got that one. On both of them, I'm going to put a star trinket, a large star trinket. And that is, these are so pretty. I'm putting one right in the center, so that's an extra. This is a 4-layer star on the front. And then I'm going to put one on this little one that's going on the inside. All right. There we go. Like so. Maybe. There we go. All right, now let's set that aside. And this little guy is going to go on the inside, and it's going to go right there. But I need to center that up because that's going to drive me crazy. Okay. You know, I am really not one of those kind of gotta be perfect people, but it's weird when stuff isn't right when I make it as a card. That really bugs me. Okay. And so we'll put him right there like that. And I may have to fix him because it's bugging me. Like I said, some things bother me, others don't. I don't know how to decide what is what. There we go. Okay. Phew. That was close. And then this guy is going to go like right here. Okay? With just a little more liquid glue. And kind of make him kind of straight. Aw, Karen, you guys are sweet. You guys are sweet. You have no idea how not creative I am. You really don't, but that's okay. Let's just go with I am so creative. Now I'm going to take these little 3 white stars and I'm going to adhere them. One is going to go on the middle panel. So now you'll have a star when you open that up. And 2 of them are going to go on the sentiment. Whoop. Like that. Ha ha, thunder. I'm going to get done. And you aren't going to get me stopped. There we go. Like that. And then I took one of these new adhesive back glitter sequins. I did not use Granny Apple Green. I know you're very disappointed by that. I used the white ones, and I used a small one in the center of each star. You know me, I don't actually know that there is such a thing as too much bling. I mean, I guess there could be, like if I was bedazzling this, it might be too much, but I don't think that's too much at all. I think it's smack on perfect. Yes, I do. She says modestly. Okay, so there's our card. Let's get a piece of DSP. I'm going to use, that's not it. That's not what I'm going to use right there. Let me see where my paper's at. Where's my paper? Here's the papers. Here's some papers. I've got some papers right here, and I'm going to put it on my envelope flap. I'm going to do my best, Faith. I'm going to do my best. But the best place to come, the part that's going to be the trickiest, I've got a lot of pictures taken, so you'll be able to, you know, follow along with pictures. But the best place to see how to actually do the adhering of the, you want to know something really funny? I said do that adhering, and then I didn't. That's not how it's supposed to be at all. I'll fix that in just a second. What a dork. Apparently I got a little distracted by the thunder. All right, we're just going to cut this off, and then I'm going to make that the actual way the fold is supposed to be. Nobody noticed that I didn't do that. I talked about it. I thought about it. But I didn't do it. I didn't do it. All right. So actually, with it hooked together like this, it's a little easier to see how to do it. So basically what you're doing is you've got this like WMW fold, and you're adhering these 2 pieces together and these 2 pieces together, okay? So that it looks like that when you're done. So why don't we do that? Let's actually do that instead of just talking about it. Instead of just talking about it. Mary is a Dorcas. No, I know what it was. I got excited about the fundraiser. And then I completely forgot to do the actual part of the folding. Okay, so there's that one. And then we'll go ahead and do this one. So you can put it together after you've put it together, but I don't recommend it. I think it's best if you put it together ahead of time. There we go. Ah, now it's more like the fun fold it was meant to be from the Get Jump. From the Get Jump. There we go. There. That's more like how it's supposed to work. Okay, so now you have a pretty front with 3 layers showing, and as you open it, the scene, the Bethlehem scene, unfolds, and then you get to the back panel where the Holy Family is. And then on the back side, you have Merry Christmas and some stars and a place to write your message. Stephanie, the fundraiser, it's a hashtag Maui Strong, and people who place orders through my online store of $50 or more are entered to win a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I donate 20% of the retail price of the order to I Heart Dogs, which is going to Maui for pet rescue, basically. You can also, if you want, since you are a demonstrator, you can also just donate directly. There's a link on my blog. You can donate $50 and you'll be entered to win a skim. And that $50 will go directly. And we've raised $1,000 in 2 days. $1,000 in 2 days. I am so tickled silly about that. I can hardly even stand it. I mean, it's a drop in the bucket, but it's a big drop. And it came from the heart, and I appreciate that. So there you go, guys. A pretty 2, 4, 6, 8 card with the Night Divine stamp set and bundled dies, and the Stars at Night stamp set and bundled dies, and the beautiful Oh Holy Night DSP. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you will give it a try. And thank you so much. Have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you next Thursday. Alrighty. Bye-bye. Does the sweet? Yes, it does, Laura. It sure does. Alrighty. Good night, everybody.